populating different value right. This is a group number and the user have multiple group member value. So how to do that? Go back to your application. This is your application, okay. Go to configuration page here. Go to first page, the setting. Here we define this file path delimiter and all you will see this one option merging. Click here. Data needs to be merged. Yes. Index column. Index column could be. Can we use any common unique attribute which define this row? So if you see, for Richard Jackson it defined 1, 1, 2 is again, a unique attribute. Charles had his 114 right, so we can use dbid. As for uniqueness index column, okay. Data sort. Do you want to return sorted or order? Yes, which column should be merged? This is the main question here. We want to merge group members, so copy its group member and provide a center. Do a destination, save this. Go back to task result. Go to task. Financial aggregation right-click. Execute in background again. Wait for the task. This is done. Okay, scan optimize, update it. Okay. Let me disable the optimization. Financial aggregation disable the optimization. So it will run for all the user. Okay, it is. Can it appear now? Search for the stretch this user, Charles the First just now. You'll see the difference. Application account financial, expand this. Now you see, all 4 values are coming up with a different line. So basically, this user, Charles, has account on financial application. This user holds 4 different value or 5 different value on the group member attribute. Now go to entitlement step. Now you'll see all 5 are coming up here as a separate values because we perform the merging. So this is, the challenge that we always be with the data. So application onboarding is easy process, right? If you're onboarding ad. If you're onboarding a different system, it doesn't matter. The problem is how the data is coming and how you have to settle down the data into your Sailpoint system. So that is the main thing we need to see, and. For that, we have to always see how the data is coming up and we need to do observation here. Which attribute can be used? Is there any duplication issue, those kind of thing? We need to understand from the data, because without looking at the data you cannot understand what issue are present here in this data. Like, we saw that duplication is there, so that's the reason we defined it merging. So now all the data is coming up properly. Okay, so this is how we onboard application in Sailpoint. The first one is that in the task scheduling previous discussion, for the this identity refresh in task on the local level Sailpoints. Suppose, let's say aggregation part is, let's keep in the scheduling mode. But another thing, I run for the any identity request part. Let's say, one user request operation, question either third operations request, you can send that. Do I need to run the refresh task for any of the third operation tasks or only for the during aggregation? I need to do that. Can you explain your last part again? Yes, during that, any other third request like create or update request is coming for any of the one single user. Okay, post that. Do I need to run the refresh on the Sailpoint task again? No. So then how Sailpoint will update? For example, now we are updating some tasks and Sailpoint is updating the data. For example, today, user is created from this Sailpoint and Sailpoint will know itself that the user is created successfully. How Sailpoint will update that? Okay, so see, basically, when we aggregate the data, data has already come. Data will automatically come here. It's just some internal process, the internal customization that we define. We want to trigger. So for that reason we have to call it refresh anti-cube. Refresh anti-cube is not a mandatory task and we cannot call it after each operation. Okay, so for each operation, the end-to-end process is already there, it just some time. We need to find customized process and we want to trigger now, so we can schedule it now. So this is not a mandatory task. Now talking about the other operations, for other operation. If you see, by default, Sailpoint give you this few tasks scheduled, which are actually important and main task. So for that reason, Sailpoint automatically schedule this task here, right? Perform identity. Request maintenance and perform maintenance. Perform maintenance, basically do a lot of maintenance job in the background, right? So this task is scheduled at every 5 minutes, if you see it. Next solution is last solution, 850. Next solution is 855. So this is scheduled at every 5 minutes because there are a lot of background maintenance operation and simple needs to complete, so that's the reason they have scheduled this in every 5 minutes. Okay, so all the mandatory task is already there. Refresh anti-cube is true on the user. If we want to do something at a particular time, we can launch this task. Refresh anti-cube. Got it. Got it clear. And one more question regarding the merging of the data of multiple entitlements. Let's say you have many identity IQ, first identity attribute you have mentioned as an employee and second time you have taken the dbid. Can we manage with only implied if suppose only one unique identity is there? So can we give the same unique identity during creation and during the merging? Yep, you can hear. So, this employee you can use here in the merchant. No issues. But this, you have to select group member here only. Yeah, that's fine. One last question. These are group column side. So now the data is coming up as 5 different entries in each file, 5 or 3, whatever the group entitlements the user is having. Now I have a data. That list of the data the user entitlement is having coming as a comma separated in a single column means all the 5 values are merged in a single cell value with the comma suppression. So during that also can with the same approach, can we take it as a multiple entitlements? So for that, see. For that, this employee, this monthly valued, will be enough. Okay, yeah, it will split down those entry into 5 different values. There is no need to separately mention separate. Only multi-value is sufficient like this, yeah. Yeah, first of all this, multi. Applications onboarding, how complex it is. I understand it is. It's a. I don't know how internally it works. It must be a big technology behind. I don't know if it is database technology or I don't know. I want to understand really what kind of. Because there is a lot of complexity is one thing, and second thing is the dbid. Where is it coming from? Who generates? That is that. Sailpoint team generates that, or is that Is that is coming from the source system? That's.